This video covers getting started with the ChartManager program. After you've installed the ChartManager program on your PC and first execute it, it'll look like this. A blank form for each of the three program libraries that the program can manage, the RNC, ENC, and IENC. So the first task is going to fill in this form with the file and folder locations that you are going to be used in managing your chart library. For the purpose of this video, we're going to just stick with RNC files. The ENC and IENC files all are managed in a very similar fashion. So the first thing to do is to identify the folder where either you keep your existing chart library or where you want to build the new one. To do that, click the Browse button. Then I'll go to my Documents folder, and I have a ChartManager program, a folder already created, so I'm just going to use that. It's a blank folder. Now here's a thing that the program will force is that RNC charts must be kept in a parent folder called BSB_root, all capital letters. A similar convention is forced for the ENC charts and IENC charts, as they must be in a folder. The parent folder for all of the chart library must be an ENC_root folder. So the program will force that. If you specify a folder, a different name, it'll create a subfolder of that name, and that's where it's going to manage the charts. So here it is. My chart library now is in the folder ChartManager with a subfolder of BSB_root. This is a convention forced by the program. It's consistent with how NOAA releases their chart library. So I've kept it and forced it in here. Whether or not the chart plotting programs require that or not, I'm not sure. But it's a convention I've kept. I may drop it in future releases. But for now, that's a requirement. So if your existing chart library, the parent directory of it is something other than BSB or ENC_root, you're going to have to probably manually, using the Windows Explorer, copy your files into a directory such as this. So anyway, I've already established where I want my RNC chart library to go. So the next thing to do, I've got to get the NOAA RNC product catalog, and I do that by clicking the download button. And the first thing it says it wants me to do is specify the folder where I want to store the catalog. I normally would put that in the same parent catalog for all of my charts, so I use the ChartManager folder for that purpose. You can put it anywhere you want. It doesn't matter, but I think it's a little more efficient and proper to keep it all in one area on your PC, just for personal management of these files. Now the download has started. And the ChartManager is now on my computer, and the location of that catalog is now stored on the opening form. When you exit ChartManager, all these file locations will be saved, so you only have to specify it once. When I make a significant change to the program, with an update you may have to re-specify them, but normally once you've done it once, that's it. The only thing you have to do after this is periodically download an updated copy of the product catalog to get updates to your chart. Normally, NOAA puts out a new chart catalog at the end of each work week, either late Thursday afternoon or sometime on Friday. So by the close of business on Friday evening, there's normally a new chart catalog for both the RNC and ENC charts available on the NOAA server. The Army Corps of Engineers does a similar function for their product catalog for the IENC charts, but I think they come out normally around midweek. So anyway, we're ready to start creating our RNC chart catalog. And you see now I can go to the RNC chart library form in the program and start to collect my own charts. So the opening form, here's the list of all the charts in the chart library. Here's the information on the chart I've selected up here. Now, there's nothing over here in the RNC chart library data for any of the charts because they don't exist. As you can see, the status of each one of these charts, if I page through them, is the chart is missing. So now we need to download the charts. Now you can do it several different ways, but you can just download whatever's in the selection list. But with 1,024 charts, that's going to take a long time to download all of them. As a matter of fact, if that's what you want to do, you're better off going to use one of the standard NOAA download zip files that are available on the server by going to the NOAA chart website and do that in a single zip file and then unzip all those charts to wherever you want. The program works better by downloading smaller selections of charts. So I'm not going to download the selection list. I can also download the individual chart, but again, I want to build my library. I don't want to do that quite that way. So the easiest way to do is to go ahead and use one of the geographic filters on the library to select the chart you want to download. Probably the most efficient is to choose one of the NOAA chart regions for download. Whichever chart region best represents your sailing area, or at least your initial area of operations. So let's say I'm a Chesapeake Bay sailor, and I want to download the charts for the Chesapeake Bay. I may expand that, or may add more charts or whatever later, but let's get started with just the Chesapeake Bay. So now I can use the download selection list to bring all those charts down to my PC. This brings up the download chart form, which shows all these charts, 59 charts selected for download. To start the download, I click the download button here. And here goes the download process. Again, you get a progress percentage as it's proceeding. As you can see, with 59 charts, now down to 55, it's going to take a little while to get all these charts on my PC. Now we're almost done with only about 4 more charts to be downloaded. And the download function is complete. We've downloaded all 59 of the charts for the Chesapeake Bay. I close out the download form, and now we can see there is a status on these charts that are in the catalog. So, and we can see that now, of course, all of the charts are up to date because they represented the latest chart from the chart catalog that we just downloaded. So now maybe we can take a look around the form here on the RNC library and see what's available, additional information. As I said, we had 2 different download selections we could do for charts. download by the list or down by whatever's been selected from the catalog. You can also view the chart online to see what it looks like. So let's click here, which takes you to the NOAA server, and we get to see the chart displayed by the NOAA online chart viewer. This is Tangier Sound on the Chesapeake Bay. So that's just helpful for making sure whether the chart is you're selected is the one you're really interested in. Down here under the catalog information, in addition to the URL for the zip file that this chart 12231 is contained within, we've got the date and time of that zip file and the size of it. The chart format, this is a Harbor chart. The edition number and the source edition date. So this edition of the chart came out on the 1st of February 2014. The NTM's notice to mariners that are covered by this chart, both from the National Geospatial Agency and by the U.S. Coast Guard. If there are more than one local notice to mariners from the Coast Guard, they'll show up as in the drop-down list down here. Over on the right side, we've got the equivalent information on the chart files for the files for this chart as they exist on my PC library. Again, the chart edition and the chart edition date, these are actually extracted from the BSB file, which is the main information file for the raster charts. And the NTM number, and you see they all match up to what's in the catalog. Below that are a list of the CAP files. In this case, there's just one. The CAP files relate to the physical panels that are on each of the paper charts. That's the equivalent of this electronic chart. They actually contain the chart image, but there's also additional information in there, and especially if there's more than one CAP file. One of the things I extract from that are the changes that have been made to the chart in this edition. So since the number of changes that have made to this chart since the edition 30 was released on the 1st of February 2014. You can see 96 nav aids have been changed, and here's the drop-down list of all of them. Once a new edition is published by NOAA, so when edition 31 comes out, then all of these will be formally incorporated into that edition, and they will no longer be listed. Either that or they're temporary changes, and they'll be corrected by a later release of this chart. One of the things you can do, I did as learning about these chart libraries, was you can export all of these nav aid changes as a GPX waypoint file, and then you could import that into whatever chart plotter you have, and that way you can go verify that the changes identified here have physically been made to the chart that you're working with. Again, that was just something I did while I was investigating the chart libraries and the NOAA chart catalog. So now I do have a good RNC chart catalog for the Chesapeake Bay, and I'm ready to use that in whatever chart plotter I may use and go sailing.